friendly faces here again. We're on the mics, so the people at the front can hear us and the people at the back can hear us.
What you say? What you say?
So we say something. Listen, thanks for coming, guys. Bit of a gutter. Rob Freeman's not going to be here today. He's pulled his back and his neck. Good guy, Rob Freeman, but he is 150% guaranteeing me that he's going to come to the next one. So it's a shame, but we've still got some fabulous speakers. We've got Mark Salon from Get Out Get Free. A lot of you know him. Does some brilliant work with getting people out of debt and challenging this corrupt system that we are in. And we know that we're in a corrupt system, and it's corrupt all the way from the top, from the banking system, banking establishment, to the governments, to the corporations, all the way through. I'm not saying everybody, but the people in positions of influence and the key players, they're corrupt. And this shit needs to stop. So we're here again, and we're going to have a good day. We've got some good speakers lined up, and we're just going to expose this shit, and we're going to let people know and empower people. It's information that is key to help people basically turn away from this tyranny that we're facing, and we are facing tyranny, not only just on a grassroots level, but on a global level when you look at it. So we've got Paul. Paul's been doing the street kitchens. I don't know if some of you guys have seen what we've been doing in the city centre, but in April we set up a street kitchen, and we run that between 6 and 8 o'clock. I do feel like I'm a reverend by the way as well. On a Sunday evening, we rely heavily on donations, whether it be clothes, food, money, tents, sleeping bags, anything from a pair of socks to a toothbrush. So, you know, if you've got anything that you can donate, guys, get it down, get it to us. If you want to come down and give us a hand serving some food, we do an outreach as well, so we go see the guys that can't get down to the kitchens. So that's something that we've been doing now, and something that we're going to keep doing for as long as we can until Leeds City Council decide that they want to try get rid of us. But they're not going to get rid of us, that I can assure you. So I'm going to pass you over to Paul. We're going to put a little video on so you can see what we've been doing with the street kitchens, and you can see basically the impact that we've had. Paul's going to have a little chat to you what he's been doing. Paul's the guy that's been basically heading everything up and in charge of organising everything, especially with the guys, Janice and Norms and Brett and everybody else. Where's Jess? She's on her way. She's on her way. She's on her way. Right, cool. She's on our reach, that's what she's doing. Brilliant. So, without any further ado, Paul's on.
Right, guys, that's the first time I've been given a clap. Right, okay, what we've been doing is, throughout, in fact, I'm not even going to go to street kitchens just yet. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sort of like point out how real change actually sort of like evolved, developed, so on and so forth. I've been looking into this type of tyranny, and a lot of people put it as conspiracy theories and so on and so forth for a good 20 years. Not so much 20 years ago, but more a spraying shit in the sky, this, that and the other, and that's where I come from. Jason sort of like listened to what I said, and eventually come round and it sort of like evolved into, there's all sorts of shit going on out there, you know, and the more we look, the more you dig, the deeper it becomes. Real change were formed specifically to get people coming from behind the computers collectively together, yeah? So instead of sat there keyboard worrying, you actually come into a room and you're all sat together sharing energy, information, knowledge, so on and so forth, and this is what this is about. So what I've done from that perspective, I've researched into a hell of a lot of things, like a lot of you guys out here have looked into things, the list goes on, there's that much stuff stacked against us, it's unbelievable. But jumping into the street kitchens, there was definitely a need for people, there was a need for people who are out there that have been forgotten, and that's exactly what they are. A lot of people that I spoke to over the course of the last 6 months, you know, they've been through a care system, through Leeds City Council, believe it or not, and as soon as they're 18 and they're out there, they throw them overboard, they're just not interested anymore, it's like, end of the day, it's like, there's like a sell-by date on these people. What we've done is we've come together collectively. Brett's out of the room at the minute, but what we did is we actually went down, all the way down to Leyland, with a lass called Lou Meg that's been doing a kitchen down there. We learned how the kitchen works, and then we come up to Leeds City Centre and started putting the kitchen together. And it evolved and it worked, and a lot of people that come to the kitchen now your hostel, homeless, sofa surfers, people of that nature. But we do generally get people come down there on poverty line now. So I don't know if Jason's going to put this video, is it already playing? He's going to put this video on. But this is a little clip about how it sort of like all started and how it sort of like manifested, and what kind of images you're going to see here is pretty much still life, because it's all photographs, but it gives you an idea of what it's about when you're down there and what, you know, sort of like the perception is. So if you could just click it on. And by the way, I've not rehearsed any of this anyway, you know what I mean? I'm just saying it as it is. And what happened was I crashed my control plane into the ocean, into Cumberland's Island, swam home and come and set a street kitchen up. That's what happened, that's the real story, pretty much, and then what you've seen there is it's sort of like a little bit of an inside thing of what goes into it. And it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for people helping people, and that's it's as simple as that, because the way that we set up with no money, it just happened, it just all come together. It was like synchronicity, just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing, and that's how it came about. There's other people out there that get big money. St George's Crypt, they've got like £800,000 sat in the bank, they've got a big old church, but they charge the homeless to feed. They actually charge people, you know, and it's just like, how can you charge somebody that's got no money, especially with all the sanctioning that goes on. But pretty much the way that I was then, unshaven and so on and so forth, actually put me into a situation where I blended in, and it clearly showed, but it actually built a rapport, no trust with these people. Therefore they felt a little bit warmer towards me than being clean shaven like that, and so on and so forth. But it worked, and people sort of like opened up and started speaking, do you know what I mean? So it works the way it went. I'm just making excuses now, of course. I've got all of that, but anyway, it is what it is. The kitchen itself, I mean, has been a success. It's worked. The core team, Norbert, Joanne, Jess, she's not here yet, so to speak. Brian, he's just started getting involved. Brett's been a main party. I'm going to say it wrong, I'll tell you, Tegan's just come down, she started getting involved and stuff, she's at university, whatever, and she's now putting it out and starting to try and get donations through like-minded people in the universities, which is a really, really good thing. It's commendable, because there's a duty of care that we've all got, and this is what Leeds City Council, the problem with them is they've got a duty of care. I don't know if anybody knows the story about Leeds City Police coming down, Inspector Berryman. The first interaction I had with this guy, he's come down, there's a lot of rubbish around the kitchens when we're tidying up. Leeds City Council refused to give us the bags, which are white bags. They've got Leeds City Council with it all over. So if you have black bags, they won't move them. In that respect, it's fly tipping. But they couldn't chase us because we're not registered, so therefore at the end of the day we're just a name. That's it. There's nothing for them to latch onto to actually come and prosecute, but eventually they did give us the bags, but that was a little problem. We thought that's what it was about, but what he was coming down to say was Leeds City Council want 850 quid a day for you to use this space to feed the homeless. That's what they want, right? So my response was, go tell Leeds City Council that this is our land and they're just stewards of the land. And he didn't know what to say to it, he just stood and went, they'll still bill you. I says, well, I'll tell you what, if the bill is, that's not an issue, that's happy days, I'm happy with that. Because you've got a duty of care. Leeds City Council have a duty of care. When you abandon your duty of care, pardon the French, when you abandon that duty of care and the people have got to stand in and then take that, the bull by the horns and practice the duty of care over people, then you can bill us 850. And I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll invoice you for 1,850 quid. How do you like them for apples? And he walks away, and we never got an issue again with any of the letters. Just crack on with it, because at the end of the day, it's a service that's being done by the people, for the people, and it's free. It's free, absolutely free. But we've got to get into a situation where the produce comes in, the food's being cooked by different people, so on and so forth. And that's how it all works. It's all people interacting with people to make sure that the vulnerable do get looked after. In that clipping, I actually turned around and nearly said homeless, but I changed it to less fortunate. The reason why is because when you put a title, which is what we learned, when people were queuing up and we were talking about homeless people, they were like, he's not homeless, she's not homeless, so it was causing arguments in the queue, so we had to change it to less fortunate, so they all fit under that banner. So just through words, the words created these big issues with people, and so we just changed it, and I actually said homeless in that, and then stopped and went less fortunate actually in the video, which is reminding me right now of exactly why we did it. There's Leeds Homeless Partnership, they're not here today unfortunately, but the amount of work that they do is massively commendable. You all know about the tent city that's appeared. It appeared outside the art gallery in town. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, the council came down. The reason the tent city came about is because people giving us money, we were buying tents, sleeping bags, ground sheets, this, that and the other for these people that generally live in doorways, under bridges, round and about Leeds. I mean, they're all dotted all over the place, and what happened was they were coming from our tents and sleeping bags because people had urinated on them, slashed them, burnt them, thrown them in the canals, done all this type of thing. Am I not on camera? Yes? Right. So pretty much at the end of the day, what happened is we were in a position where there had to be a solution to this, because that money is coming from the general public and it don't come all the time. So it's like, how can we facilitate this? And an idea was spoke about myself, Brett, Hayden, and pretty much basically what we said is what we need is a tent city. So then we can watch this tent city, we can protect it, and then the tents don't get damaged and whatever else. And that's how it all come about. It developed, didn't it, Brett? So like, 4 weeks ago? That was the timing, and it happened.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, well, absolutely, because you're that absorbed into it, you just don't know what's going on. You don't even know what day it is, do you know what I mean? It's just, there's that much going on. But the tent city appeared. Leeds City Council then responded, they came in. They came and said, listen, we're here to help. Magic words that they use, we're here to help. Superman or whatever. But what I'm saying is, they turned up, they then said, let's take your names. And Hayden, unfortunately, he's not here to speak for himself. I wish he had been. Got his name, and then 3 other people. The next day, they came with papers, court papers. So they deceived these people. And the way that I look at that is, you abandoned your duty of care in the first place. People have stepped in, and then these people are trying to help people. We've set up a tent city to show that there's not 15 homeless people. There's a magnitude, there's a lot more. I mean, how many was it, Brad, just for figures?
I think at most we had 73, I think.
So 73 people that are homeless, and obviously the figures from Leeds City Council are 15, which is pretty much obviously miles away. There's a big divide there. It demonstrated to the people of Leeds that this is bigger than actually people are led to believe. So Leeds City Council get all this money in to do all this fact finding, and they can't get the facts right. I mean, that's shocking in itself, from my perspective. So what are we actually paying for as a people? What services are we actually getting? False figures. Fudge figures, at the end of the day, not reality. Not exactly how it should be, or how it should be portrayed to be, and how it should be put into our mind's eye, that this is a bigger problem than it is. They've tried quieting it down and pushing it out of the way. The tent city obviously was there. The council have come in, they've abandoned the duty of care, let's not forget that. They've abandoned the duty of care, then come in, took names, we're here to help. They've then come with court papers to take it through court, county court being, and at the end of the day, it's the deception behind that I've got a big issue with, because these people are not to be trusted. They get all the money, they say there's no money, but where is this money truly going? It's going brown paper envelopes, back pockets, big deals, this, that and the other. We'll look after us because we're in this remit. Fuck you lot. And that is their attitude. And the corruption is so corrupt now, when you say it. Absolutely. But this is what's going on, and this is what's happening, and these people are allowed to get away with what they're doing because we have given them the power. But it's about time us, as a collective, sit back and say, wait a minute, we're not going to give you power no more, which is a lot of people in this room are doing exactly that. That's why you've come, do you know what I mean? You're not doing that, you're not breathing that energy into them. You basically pull into one side and say, do you know, we're not doing this no more. You can't keep going the way that you're going, yeah, and creating these big issues that you're creating. So obviously the street kitchen being one thing, the tent city being another, it's basically creating the awareness that it needs to create. That at the end of the day, people are people. It's about showing people how to reach out to one another, how to do something nice for someone else, which is exactly what's happening, for no reward. The reward is seeing the sparkle in the eyes of the people that are turning up. And the amount of people, Brett, Nobbs, Janice, Joe, the amount of people, how forthcoming are they and say thank you.
They're just overwhelmed, aren't they? You know, that people are actually, you know, care.
Yeah,
You know?
and what's their attitude, would you say?
It's really, it's good. It's
But
positive.
towards Leeds City Council, what is their attitude?
It's negative, isn't it? You know.
Because it's them that are abandoning the duty of care, therefore it's going to be negative because there's no help. And it's like you go for help and there's all these set of hurdles that they put in front of you and they just want you to fall over them.
Yeah.
They
Very
just,
frustrated. They get really frustrated.
they do indeed.
Extremely, yeah.
They're extremely frustrated. But the thing is, with the tent city, the thing that I witnessed and what I seen was everybody's spirits lifted, and that for me was just absolutely fantastic because
Within 2 days, they all looked a lot healthier.
the sleep that they had, there's no deprivation, they're not worried about piss heads coming out of the pubs and shit out of them like, forget his name.
David.
No, not David, the other guy, Carl, thank you, with the halo around his neck. I mean, end of the day, he was just so humble, that guy. He was the one that me and Hayden rescued. We'd set the kitchen up on the Sunday, and what had happened was there were 4 police officers surrounding Carl just off City Square, and as soon as I seen it, I'm like, Age, and we were straight over, and the police were saying, you're not allowed in town, you've been red carded, you're banned for 48 hours, and I turned around and asked Carl, is that true? And he turned around and went, no, it's not. And I says, why ain't it true? And he says, because I didn't accept their paperwork. And I thought, happy days. Happy days. I mean, that for me tells me that he's not being served, therefore you have no jurisdiction. I says, at the end of the day, he's coming with me and he's feeding at our kitchen. The cop had turned around and went, it doesn't work like that. I went, yeah, it does. And he turned around and the fucked off all of them. They couldn't do nothing because he'd not been served. Yeah, they were off, but the thing is, this 48-hour kicking out of town and stuff like that, it's all to get rid of the homeless, it's all to push the homeless. Our Leeds to make it a big business financial capital because it is coming here from London. If people believe that or not, this is the new financial capital. Yeah, it's all coming from London and it's coming up here, middle of obviously the country that we're living. Leeds bid get so much money that the council have actually paid, this is how good Leeds bid are, the council have paid for their accommodation in Leeds Town Centre for, I think, 80 grand. Is it 80 grand, Brett?
I think it was, yeah.
Right, so they won't give these homeless a house, but Leeds City Council will jump in and go, there's 80 grand, and these people are in Leeds Town Centre, they will go around Leeds Town Centre, and one of their orders, or one of their sort of like remits that they do is basically to report where these homeless people are. Once they've reported where the homeless people are, the council then kick in, and they go out with a squad of people and move them on, or if it's not them, it's West Yorkshire Police or Leeds City Police. There's a thing about that. With Leeds City Police, isn't it? It's completely a new thing on its own, where you've got the City of London, we've now got the City of Leeds forming, so at the end of the day, it's a city within a city that's being created right in front of your eyes. I won't get on with that. So what's happening is there's a lot of corruption, there's a lot of money floating about for these people at Leeds Bid, so on and so forth. Leeds Bid don't want anybody that's homeless in Leeds Town Centre. They're pushing them out because they want to make it business capital. I don't know what the money is being spent, but Leeds, John Lewis has just opened, or it's opening very, very soon. Does anybody know the cost that's gone into that? No, but at the end of the day, that's attracting people from all around. It's a lot of money. And pretty much that's where we are. We've got the kitchen, it's going to keep going and it's going to hopefully manifest and start going into different towns and different cities all over the country because there isn't just Leeds that's got a homeless issue. We've got Bradford, we've got Wakefield, all within the West Yorkshire region. I know that Nottingham's got an issue. I know that obviously, you know, different areas, Derby's got an issue. I've got a chap that's speaking to me about that at the minute. He wants to really get in. He's got a couple of quid, this guy, and he wants to throw it in and he wants to do exactly the same down there as we've done here. But we've done it all because of the people, helping the people. People have been throwing money in, donations, it's everything. I must say the corporations, Tesco's being one of them, I deal with Tesco's Roundy Road, Tesco's Seacroft, and I get fresh stuff every time. It's not end of day, it's well within day. So the food that we're actually providing on a weekly basis is fresh. Yeah? So these guys are actually getting the fresh produce, not the out of date stuff, you know, used by or used before or best before or whatever else. But what we're going to try to sort of like start doing now, which is something that I've seen, I've spoken to a lot of people in respect to obviously the way the children are at the schools and stuff like that. And what I'm finding is a lot of these kids are actually turning up in the estates that are a bit deprived and nobody's being spent on. I'm finding children are turning up to school with no food, no breakfast, for obviously that's not good for obviously the development. And they get the dinner and then they're going home and not having any tea, so they're basing everything on just one meal a day, which is not good for them. Malnutrition springs to mind, even though the food that they are getting is absolutely shit because it comes from the supermarket anyway, it's probably genetically modified and everything else. That's another issue. Lack of food is a big issue. The right foods is a fantastic issue. Unfortunately, we've not got the right foods that we can all grow together and feed everybody. But pretty much there's a lot of issues there within the estates now, so that's where we're looking. But then let's do something in respect to the estates for the children on the estates is a massive ask, and that will take a lot of donations in respect to obviously people putting their hands in their pockets, which they'd rather put their hands in their pockets and give to Cancer Research UK and places like that, and you like the mind boggles, one in 50,000 people in the 80s would get cancer, now it's 1 in 3, but they've had billions, and it's like, I'm scratching my head. What is going on? Why are people misconstrued? It's a misconception, because they're building the fear, they're saying, here, you need to give us money so that we can fight this cancer, and you might not get it if you give us money, and that's what they're doing, and it's just all wrong, because it's pushing people here in this low vibration. What I would ask is, anybody got any questions in respect to the kitchens there, or the homeless, or anything like that? Anybody?
So, with regards to the kitchens, when obviously we do it on a Sunday, what kind of preparations involved for that?
The preparation is, well, I'm going to ask Brett. Brett knows he's probably asleep, pressing his food down at his tent, sitting too long. Fighting for another day. Yeah, absolutely, Brett. I mean, you can answer that question quite simply in preparation, yeah, for the street kitchen and what goes into it.
Oh, loads. It's impossible.
Well, it's important. Well, we had Leeds then, didn't we? Leeds obviously going on to Passion New and things like that. But to actually go into a street kitchen and build it, we've got to have the gazebos, the tables, the flasks, the food to pick up from the supermarkets, the food to prepare to cook, putting the hot food on.
We need between LHP and us, that's a nightmare.
Absolutely, because we're sharing stuff, we're sharing tables and gas bottles and everything else between two groups here, you know, so obviously the organisation then is the handover of the stuff from Monday and what have you, and the storage as well. We've not really got the big storage place. We've got Janice that makes all the sandwiches every weekend, so the produce has got to be dropped.
Sandwiches, takes me ages.
Absolutely, it does, doesn't it? I mean, sandwiches. So, I mean, the thing is, it's all about people interacting and connecting, and to put something like together where we've not got a kitchen, we've got it on the street, so it's not something that's under or in between four walls. It is quite a feat, but it's very rewarding, because you do see, like Joseph, you do see the appreciation in people's eyes. You see the appreciation. We've had it where they've come up and thank you very much, and we say, don't thank us, just go do something nice for someone else, and they do. They do try to do that, that's absolutely right. But pretty much, I mean, the kitchen's been a success, and it's done what it needs to do, and it's highlighted a lot of issues, and the issues are that basically it could be us that could be in that destitution situation where a lot of people are at the very bottom of the run, and I do believe, and I genuinely believe this, that this homelessness is there purposely. is there purposely. If I went on a tangent and spoke from the mind, then I think it's more demonic than people actually realise. There was a lot of people washing up, I should say washing up, or being found in canals, and that was more Manchester, Liverpool neck of the woods. That's stopped now, I believe. And then there were
been highlighted.
absolutely. It was been. I can't remember the name of the chap that highlighted it. It'll come to me. It's an Irish guy.
Wesley did it. Wesley Hall did it.
Oh, did Wesley?
Yeah.
And these people were, you know, and then it's like, well, wait a minute, where have they come from? And a lot of homeless do disappear, you know, so maybe it's a feeding thing, you know, blood sacrificial and all that type of stuff. Don't know, it's only a suggestion and whatever else. But is there any questions that any of you guys want to ask me direct about?
Can I ask a quick one, Paul?
Yeah.
For those, I mean, there's a lot of people on social media now who are following all this good work. For those who maybe do want to give a bit of money, because I think people who be cancer in the diary a bit for cancer research,
Yeah.
you know, put a line in their pockets. It's not very well advertised how people could actually just give money because it's best to use your time, but some people can't. You know,
Well,
you've got a way to, for people that's, you know,
There is a GoFundMe page.
Is there? Yeah.
Yeah, there is a GoFundMe page, but we try to be really careful with that, because the problem that you've got is when money's coming in, next thing what's happening is, where's that tenner gone? Where's that fiver gone? And I'm like, I got wait a minute, yeah? I'm not a multi-corporation, yeah, it's got a yacht somewhere and 35 houses over there, and it's like, you know, thank you very much. I'm just a man, just like everybody else, you know, at the end of the day, the money goes where it needs to go. Statement of accounts, Brett was doing them. He's not done it yet because there's been just... Yeah, when 10% finished. So everything that's actually, when people have been donated, is accounted for, yeah? But it's, I think we've had, all in all, since we've started, we've probably had 1,300 quid in cash just off the account. There's a bit that's gone into, obviously, the PayPal account, but that's all accounted for as well. But all the receipts back it up. But we do find when people get cash, they start questioning, well, where's that money gone? You know, and you're like, hang on, wait a minute. What we would prefer is we'll prefer it in that respect to go buy something, even if it's, I don't know, if we did a wish list or something like on Amazon, so we need this, then you can pay for it that way, then you know exactly where the money's gone, yeah, and at the end of it, we receive the goods at the end of it, and then obviously what we do is we then pass them goods out, something like that. So we're a little bit sort of like clicky on cash. It's a bit hard, because at the end of the day, we do know in this industry, I shouldn't use industry as well, but in this what we do, there is people out there that will purposely kick up dirt and try to create problems and stress and issues and problems, like infiltration, like an infiltration kind of thing, if you get the meaning. So, yeah, cash is one thing, and just unfortunately belongs to the Bank of England. But I've got a big issue that we need to create his own currency, is what I'm saying. Yeah, I think that's a big thing. And we do, pretty much. It's energy transfer, that's what we're doing. It's like we do this and we give that energy out, and it hopefully comes back full circle eventually. Yeah, but it's just doing good for people, isn't it? You know, I mean, that's the main thing. There is people out there that do need time, effort and energy, and they're being thrown overboard. The system's failing, it's a crock of shit. Yeah, we know it's corrupt. Every single one of you in here knows that the system's corrupt. It's down to us as a populace now is to start coming together and firing ideas off of each other, yeah, and rising at a different vibration, because then they can't touch you then. You know, there's a lot of people in here. It's when Mark comes on, he's going to talk about the debts and everything else that's going on, which is keeping everybody down here again. It's, you know, it's a noose round the neck. It's they're pushing your head underwater. This is what's going on. I'm hoping everybody in here has actually got a roof over their head, but with a roof over their head it comes with responsibility, and there's all this extra pressure from outside forces that's coming in, you know, to make sure that you just can't evolve yourself, you know, and then find your true inner being. That's another big thing that's going on. But back to the tent city, when the tent city happened, within 2 days, the spirits are lifted in them people. We were dancing, there was music there. It was magical to actually witness. You know, these people had been destitute. Everybody come together as a collective. There was food there. There was everything there that they needed, apart from the showers, the toilets. That Kent on the second time when they moved from, obviously outside the Art Gallery, they moved on to Park Square, which was coincidentally, it's a square and you've got all the buildings around, and all the buildings were full of solicitors. So, right, how do you like them? Yeah, there were solicitors for it and there were solicitors against it, you know, but they did get moved. I mean, they stayed there a full week, over a full week, you know, and that was nice. There were people coming down from universities that were practicing music, and they were just playing, and the spirits just lifted. It was just brilliant, it was magical. Yeah. Yeah, it just happened. It was just awesome. But that's pretty much it. I mean, the kitchen's going to continue, yeah, and it will continue, and it needs to continue because it's needed. It's not that it's not needed. There's still people come down now that you know, the homeless are in a situation now where they're in the tent city, pretty much. Not all of them, because some won't even participate because they're that isolated within the mind that they won't be on their own. You know, they can't mix with other people. You know, there's all sorts of mental health issues. There's all sorts of drug and drink problems. You know, the list goes on. I mean, at the end of the day, these people are lost. They're lost, and this kitchen actually finds them. But that's as far as we can go. We can't get into a situation where we can sort each individual out. I mean, that's when the money comes in. That's when you need a shitload of money. You know, to be able to turn around and say, you know what, we've bought some land, we've built some houses. You're going to go in here. You can have a drug worker. Yeah, you're going to be in this position, we've got an alcohol worker for you, we've got a mental health worker for you. Yeah, to do that, the time and the effort and the money to actually do something like that, it's not going to happen overnight. So pretty much the kitchen's one thing, but what these guys really, really need is a lot of time, effort, energy put into them to bring them back from the dead, even though you're all dead, but you know, anyway, yeah, bring them back from the dead, and get them into a position where at the end of the day they can then sort of like move forward in their lives and not be like, now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people out there that have chosen to be in this homeless situation. There's quite a few out there that actually want to be homeless, they don't want to be in a position. We did it with Spider. Spider'd been on the road for a long, long time. He then decided in his mind that he wanted to sort of like live somewhere. He got the flat through his own choice. He got given 3 numbers. He went to see 3 flats. He got into the flat. We provided him sofa, fridge, washing machine, so on and so forth, bed, the lot. We got it all sorted out, put it in there for him. And he slept for 2 nights. And after the second night, he was in a position where like, I don't like this. And he had to go out of the house and go. And we'd arranged to go see him on the Saturday to drop other things off. And he made excuse after excuse on the phone, but wouldn't tell the truth. He said he'd been nicked, and he'd not been nicked. What it was is he couldn't sort of like climatise, if that's the best way to do it, in the house that he'd been getting. He just couldn't handle it because he used to the open air, the elements and stuff like that. So it was very foreign, even though for instance it took him a while for him to sort of like fall back into the process, but then he's in a position where it's council tax and water and gas and electric, which is obviously where Mark's going to come in, you know what I mean? But it's all linked, everything's linked, everything that we're talking about today, it's all linked. Homelessness, being in a house and being sort of like, you know, drowned by paper and all that type of stuff and all the bills that we've got to pay. It's far too much. At the end of the day, for a species on the planet that's independent and free, so to say, we're very, very, very have these massive metal shackles around his ankles that are holding us back and stopping us evolving, because these people at the very, very top don't want us to come together, they don't want us to rise up, they want to keep us in this low echelon so that we're under control, and that's pretty much what's going on. This is why there's a homelessness issue, this is why we're 3 paychecks away from being homeless. I think at the end of the day, if we all turned around and left us homes tomorrow and just went into a big field somewhere and built us a lot of cabins, I think that's quite a good idea, because then that way...
Have we got any joiners in? Any joiners?
But the thing is, we could do that tomorrow, we could all sit here today and we could turn around and say, do you know what? Yeah, let's move out of this house, this coffin that we live in, because it's square, like a coffin, yeah? And let's go find a field somewhere and just make us own community. I mean, that would be absolutely awesome, because at the end of the day, people can work together. we could grow food together, we could
I've got a
do all
cook.
type of things.
Have we got any joiners in?
But it's pretty much just going back to basics, and this is what they're dangling, you know, it's all this communalism.
That'll do.
Yeah, it's all this dangling carrots in it, you know what I mean? All this carrot dangling in. You want the next iPhone and all this shit. By the way, I'm going to touch on something here, right? Because I've mentioned phones, right? I've got a condition called ME, right? And I wasn't sleeping, I was dragging my knuckles around the house. I keep saying it every now and again in the videos. Anyway, I got into a position where financially, I had no money whatsoever, right? Which meant my phone bill was switched, my mobile was switched off, but the big thing was the Wi-Fi in the house. Yeah, it was switched off. I was not sleeping at all, right? I was not sleeping. Pre-documented. So next year it comes up in the anniversary, so I'm like, no, yeah, I wasn't sleeping then. But what I found is when the Wi-Fi stopped, yeah, and it was switched off and they cut off that connection, I was sleeping. So pretty much that tells me now that the Wi-Fi has got something, yeah, to do with why I was not sleeping. Now, cannabis and cannabinoids and all this type of stuff, right? I dabbled to see if the cannabis oil, yeah, would work to give me sleep and stuff like that. So, and even my girls know, because like, are you getting your oil again tonight, Dad? I'm like, yeah, of course I am. So I got my cannabis oil, but I got a bit greedy. You know, you're supposed to do a little dot. I would get like grains of rice, double, triple, like, do you know what I mean? But anyway, that's how it goes. But what I'm saying to you is, I took the cannabis oil, and one night I'd gone to sleep, the cannabis oil was kicking in, so obviously we're interacting and kicking the Wi-Fi out, letting me sleep, and I woke up, and my phone was next to the bed, and I could feel the phone pulsing. I could actually feel it. That's what woke me up. I could feel it pulsing. I felt it. I actually physically felt it. Now, if I'd not had that cannabis oil, I would never have that experience. So the cannabis oil did something for my perception, or whatever it is that's going on within the cannabinoid system, yeah? And it was pulsing, and I felt it. But the laptop was underneath my bed. So that was going, and that was pulsing over here, behind my back. And I'm like, so I woke up like, what the fuck was going on, do you know what I mean? And I didn't think too much about it because I was tired and so on and so forth. But the next day, I remember mentioning it to Brett. I mentioned it to you, didn't I, Brett? And what's going on? He's like, wow, that's what that cannabis oil does, you know, it changes your own perception and stuff like that. Didn't think about it. Then when the Wi-Fi got switched off, it all just fell into place. It just, it was like, hang on, wait a minute, it's the Wi-Fi hitting the device is converting it to whatever it's converting it to. And that is what it is, I'm electrosensitive. And the ME is part of that cycle. So obviously, we're at 4G now. I said to the doctors, I said pretty much, look, this is how it is, yeah. How long have you had this condition? I said, the last 10 years. That's what I told them. If we actually look at it, went from 2G to 3G, 3G to 4G, yeah, all in that 10-year period. And my condition got worse. I get aching down my legs. I can feel the Wi-Fi in here, by the way. I can actually, who did I say it to? Yeah, I said when I stood at bar, I said I can feel it. At work, when I'm working, when the Wi-Fi's on, I can feel it. I go in myself. It's not a nice experience because you feel very inadequate as a man, because you're like, you can't concentrate, you can't focus. There's all sorts of other stuff goes on. You're just like that, and it's the dizziness but pretty much the Wi-Fi's not a good thing.
Well, did you know that microwaves operate at 6G, so what they're effectively doing is slowly cooking us?
Absolutely, and then who did I say that to? We're going from, where's it go? Yes, we're 3G, 4G, what's going to happen when we've got 5G? What happens when we've got 5G is people that haven't got ME or any chronic fatigue or whatever, fibromyalgia and all that type of stuff, people that haven't got that, yeah, are going to start having these kind of symptoms. So what they're doing is they're drip feeding this shit, Mark. Yeah, they're drip feeding it slowly, and eventually at the end of the day we're just completely sort of like covered in these waves, this frequency that the human body cannot deal with. And people are being hit quicker because we've all got different DNA structures and DNA types, and that's actually what's going on. I'm not going to go too much into it because it will be a long talk, but I'm just giving you an insight from my perspective. of what's going on. Also this week, we don't phone me Tuesday morning, they're going to give us injections, HPV and all that. I stopped that off this week as well. With a bit of a rally, I actually had 3 phone calls from the school by 3 different individuals trying to sort of like talk me around, saying to me that we go with the person that's got parental responsibility, meaning the mum. Not discredit their mum because she's a fantastic woman, yeah. But when I turned around, she goes, we'll have to go to, if you don't agree, we'll have to go to court and deal with it through court. And I turned around and went, not a problem. I says, I'm the creator of my child, or should we use child, daughter, yeah? I'm the creator of my daughter, therefore I poo-poo any legal standing that you've got, because I am God and I made my children in my own image, and it's as simple as that. They can't argue with that, do you know what I mean? But pretty much we've stopped that, it's been halted, which is a good thing because it gives us opportunity then, myself and her mum, to sit down and discuss this properly. Because content's one thing. Did anybody see the post last night that actually put up with it, what the school actually sent me? Yeah. They sent me that slip with the mobile phone on it, it's cool and it's hip to do this thing. Yeah, let me tell my pals that I've just had a cervical cancer jab. 12, what?
Oh, it's going
Yeah.
to
You know, yeah, absolutely. So you've got that, but then they'll give me a pink slip. Absolutely, but then what they've done is they'll give me a pink slip to become the trustee. Yeah, to then sign the liability over myself to give consent, so if any damage happens, it's my fault. You know what I mean? They're doing it with clean hands, and this is what the NHS do, they always do it with clean hands. It's like, going back to the originality of when you're born in the hospital, you're in that situation, and then what happens is when you're born in the hospital, yeah, they then say, here's a slip, go to your registry office, yeah, you go with that slip, yeah, sign the child or daughter, son, over to the state. They've done it with clean hands to hospital. Yeah, did you know that any homeless person, right, that goes into hospital, yeah, anybody that's homeless that goes into the hospital because they've not got no fixed abode, that the hospital sue the council. Did anybody know that? Yeah? They sue the council. Do you know why they sue the council? Do you know why they sue the council? Because council's government, central government, and you've got they're the government of the area. But do you know why they actually get sued? It's to do with when at the end of the day the child or the baby is born and you go and sign the registration form. The hospital have got an agreement with the state, yeah? So what's happening is the hospital are saying, right, okay, we're going to now send the produce to you, yeah? There's the docket, they give it to the parent or the mother, father, but the newly parent because you're now ready, and off you go, you sign that, sign the registration form. They've done it with clean hands, so the parent becomes a carrier pigeon between the two. But if that child or son, daughter, whatever becomes homeless, it's a breach of contract from the government. That's why the hospital can actually come in and sue them, because it's a breach of contract from the original set. If you get where I'm coming from, yeah. Because obviously they've had an agreement that when that child leaves the hospital, it's got to be registered over to a government, yeah, to keep it within their system. So it's a breach of contract. But that's pretty much how it's working. That's how the hospital can sue the council if that person that's been in has got no fixed abode. And that's how it works. This is why you've got St George's Crypt, because it's an address. This is why you've got St Anne's, because it's an address. So that they can bypass being sued, if you get me meaning. Yeah. Okay, so it's all done behind closed doors. Anyway, right, no problem. Are you jumping up here?
Right guys, I'm going to pinch your microphone. So I'd like to say thanks to Paul. Again, if you can get involved, if you're obviously not in Leeds and you're in a different city, take a leaf out of what we're doing. You know, what we're doing is we're simple people, and we are simple. We've got no malice, we've got no bad intent towards anybody, apart from what's right. So it's all about people helping people, and this is what the system can't deal with. They can't deal with it. I mean, they've offered special street kitchens to go down and sign a charter, they want us to sign our nature away to give them the authority. We said, sorry, no, just do it, catch me. We said no, we're not engaging. We're people helping people, and the system can't deal with that. The system can't deal with the fact that we're just people helping people, and that's what we pride ourselves on. And the idea of real change, as Paul said earlier on, is we brought the idea, and we're not a group, we're not an organisation, we're not a charity, we're not a corporation, we're just people that want to do right by other people. You know, share information, help where we can, and if you can better somebody's life, just one person's life, it ain't half worth doing it. It definitely is. So thanks again, Paul. So, next we've got you guys will sing out.
Am I on? Can I just say one thing? Yeah, can I thank every single one of you for actually making the effort to come today? Yeah, because this is what it is about. It's about, like Jay said, people helping people, strengthening each other. Yeah, without everybody coming as a collective, then we're nothing. Yeah, and I ask this question all the time. If the corporations go tomorrow, yeah, what have you got? The amount of people that turn around me and say nothing as an answer is, John, like, what the... Yeah, we've got everything, because we can start again. We can start again because people can then become people, we can start helping people, and that's what it's about. So if the corporations did go tomorrow, which it would be a happy day, yeah, we as a people could come together and we've got each other, and that's what it's about. Sorry for hijacking again.
Debt Free TV, in association with GetOutOfDebtFree.org.